What's up, everybody? I am Jesse, or GameOverJesse as some of you all may know me, and here with me is my partner on the channel and co-host, Daniel. Our first question is actually a bit of an interesting one, coming from Insane Makiyoshin. Probably mispronounced that. They say, why don't they make settings allowing us to choose the art style and adjust it at our pleasure? So this is a comment left on our previous mailbag where we answered some questions, including our favorite art style. And this person is asking, why doesn't Nintendo just let us choose between our art style? Now, there has been games do this before the podcast. While we were setting everything up, we talked about how Halo 3, their remake, Anniversary Edition on the Xbox 360 allowed you to switch between the original and the new textures. But that's just switching textures. That's not like switching engine, switching art styles and everything. You're just loading in different textures. With this, like, you would basically be jumping from Wind Waker art style to Twilight Princess to Breath of the Wild to Ocarina of Time. Like, there's so much that you have to do there with not just textures, but a lot of times the engine itself needs to be changed. The lighting has to be changed. The way a lot of this stuff work. Like, there's a lot.
Also, a lot of the models. Like, honestly, if there was like a Wind Waker or Twilight Princess art style switch, for example, like the character models, those fit in with the art style, right? You can't just swap the cell shading on or off, and then just like call it a day, right?
Like,
you have to.
Link in Wind Waker, he's like, the characters are like short, pudgy, big round head, but like, you know, so he's like Hey Arnold in cartoon form. But then,
so everything proportionately, like even the trees have to be redesigned then, like based on the art style, you know.
And then you go to Twilight Princess, to where it's more of a realistic art style. If you have that same round head with the huge eyes, it's just gonna look scary.
Some of the characters still did, but I like. There's very little like changing that. Like you could do to change the art style that without really overhauling like everything in the game, like visually, like you said, lighting, textures, models, the works, right? Even the sound design is in a way a part of the art style.
So next question comes from Magic.
I hope that answered the question.
Next question comes from Magic Minded. Says, so once you kill Ganon, this is talking about the DLC in Breath of the Wild. So once you kill Ganon, that's it. There's nothing else. It just restarts the game. Could you enter your save and do all the shrines if you hadn't before?
Kinda. When you beat Ganon, you get a little star next to your save file, and then when you reload your save file, you are at the right before the boss room. You can leave Hyrule Castle and get anything that you missed, and then go fight Ganon again if you want. So very
similar to every other Zelda game that has ever released.
Game ever. Yeah, really, like every game does that. So don't worry if you missed a shrine and you want to go get it.
There technically is no post game. It just resets you at your final moments before defeating Ganon. Cool. And then the shrines, you can go back and do. I think you can do the Trials of Strength again. Like if
which one? The Master Trials or the Trial of the Sword? Or what do you mean?
Like the normal ones, when you go into a shrine and it's just like, here's...
Oh, yes, you can do those over.
Yeah, where you have to
like
fight
major
the
test of
Guardians.
Strength.
Yeah. And then, of course, you can redo the Master Trials as much as you want. And the good thing about the DLC that just came out is it adds like 20, maybe 30 shrines altogether. I would say maybe 20.
And then there's the first 4, and then 3 more for each one. So 16,
16.
Plus the final giant. Oh, that's more like another divine beast almost. Spoilers for this 2-day-old DLC.
And then
It's in the trailer. It's
going
not spoilers, it's in the trailer.
Going along with this, Yarkaz asks, with the new shrines, can you finally have full max hearts along with max full stamina?
No. No, you can't. I'm sorry, honey.
Sorry. He goes on to say, I mean, there are 4 new shrines at the starting area and 3 new shrines per champion. So, yeah.
The first 4...
As we just
the first 4, yeah,
answered on the last questions, there are more shrines, but in the later shrines, you only get emblems for the champions. You don't get the spirit orbs. But
yeah.
that gives us hope that there may be future DLC. Who knows?
So you can do 1 more upgrade, but the other 12 shrines do not net you any more upgrades.
Yeah. Next question. Adrian Katrina asks, why was there a scarf at 220? There is no scarf in the game.
He does wear it. Sorry, I just had to pull it up. If you watch the trailer, he does wear the scarf in-game when you get the hood. However, you probably won't notice it because Link's shield, if it's on his back, will cover it. But you'll see it on the front, and if you unequip your items, your bow and your shield and everything, it is there.
Interesting.
Yes. Sorry, I had to do some research on this because I'm like, what scarf is missing? What's going on?
Yeah.
Sorry, Adrian. It's there, actually.
Yeah. But again, it does say at the very bottom, final in-game graphics may vary. So whatever you see in the promotional art, there always could be some changes.
Yes.
So had to do some research there. Thank you, Daniel.
No worries. That's what I do. I'm the fact checker.
Yes.
Apparently.
Yeah.
All right.
And if we get any of these questions wrong or you have a disagreement with anything, please let us know. We don't want to be giving out wrong information like we almost just did.
Almost.
Caleb White. What happens if you fight Ganon after you complete the DLC? Can't find a video for it. And can't get the DLC till Tuesday. Now, it's
the same.
I believe I answered this question for him. But for everybody else wondering, at the end of the DLC, Zelda makes a statement. Again, Nintendo playing with our hearts, saying, Link, you now have the strength to defeat Ganon. And then she ends it with, truly. Now, this led me to believe that, now I can truly defeat Ganon, as opposed to just defeating him and having him come back, or the game not saving after you kill him and having a post game. So in my head I was like, I can actually kill him. Why else would Zelda end it with just truly? But sadly there is no post game yet, and there may never be, sadly.
Yeah.
Next question comes from Nog Boy. And they ask, I'm curious about what Zelda said at the end. When you beat Ganon again, is there a new ending? Can you meet Zelda outside the final fight? Yes, sadly.
As we were just saying.
Yeah. Same answer applies, guys. Really sorry about this.
Yeah.
And then our final question. Why don't you go ahead and read it?
Sure. So, stop the dabbing, Mario. Stop the dabbing, whose name I disagree with. Asks or says, wait, wasn't the second DLC supposed to take place after Ganon? Didn't Nintendo confirm this? I've played through the new DLC and I've fought Ganon several times without any game to explore after, just being teleported to my last save before fighting Ganon. I haven't seen anyone talking about this, so maybe I misunderstood it. I think we kind of addressed this a bit earlier in this episode, but I guess they changed their mind. I don't remember if they actually did confirm it or not, but it's not post-game. Sorry, guys. It is kind of just smushed that you have to defeat all the divine beasts, so it's after that, but before Ganon. So that's it. That's your answer. Sorry, I'm sorry if you were disappointed. So was Jesse. It's okay.
All right. And we actually have one more final question from Dabby Jackie on Discord. Would you like to read it as well?
Sure. It says, with the Champions Ballad out, would you say it's one of the biggest DLC releases in gaming history? I would not.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, there's definitely been bigger DLCs out there, but this one is really cool.
Skyrim,
yeah,
for instance.
Skyrim had a whole new island.
Witcher 3.
Didn't it?
Well, Witcher 3 had a new island. Horizon Zero Dawn had a lot of stuff. See, what could have made Breath of the Wild a massive DLC is which Aonuma did kind of exactly what he said he was going to do. There was an interview before Breath of the Wild released where he was asked about if the game would have DLC, kind of like Hyrule Warriors Legends, Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, and he said if the game was to have DLC, it would be to flesh out the world that he's already created. That he loves the world of Hyrule and Breath of the Wild so much that he would want to flesh it out even more, as opposed to creating a brand new area to explore, which is what a lot of people were hoping for, which is what similar games like Horizon Zero Dawn, which is essentially Breath of the Wild for the PlayStation 4, that game, its DLC, the Frozen Wilds, released, and it gives you another huge area to explore that's like a third the size of the actual game, I would imagine. The Witcher 3 did something similar to where magically, way off in the distance, there's another huge island to explore that's almost the size of the actual game. Uncharted 4 had its Lost Legacy DLC, which they ended up turning it into not just DLC, but more of a side game. Instead of being like a $20 DLC pack, they put so much work into it, made it so much more than a simple expansion, that it became its own $40 standalone game.
Yeah.
So I think it was $40 anyways. Might be cheaper now. But the point is, Breath of the Wild, a lot of people were hoping would do something similar to where it adds a new area, but all it did is what Aonuma said it was going to do, and it just fleshed out the world. You get more story, more characters, more armor, more dungeons, more bosses, more everything. The only thing you don't get is the new area. So if it would have had the new area, then I would say maybe, depending on the size of it. Like if it was a quarter or half the size of Hyrule from Breath of the Wild, even if it was like the size of Hyrule from Ocarina of Time, which is a lot smaller, that would still be interesting to explore. But sadly, well, actually, I don't even know if it's sadly, because what we got was good, and it still leaves the option open for even more. So.
Sorry. Yeah. So that wraps that up. There's just one more thing I want to touch on. And it's not really a question, but a comment that you got on one of your, or on the video about the DLC. And it's a guy called the Straw Hat Viking. He says, there's one thing you didn't discover. I only discovered this by chance myself. Once you have cleared DLC 2 and Cass has given you the photo, go to Link's house, and to his second floor, it will trigger a cutscene of him hanging up said photo so you can view it instead of it being stuck in your inventory. And he posted a video of him doing it, and I just think that's a really neat little detail, that you can hang it in your house if you buy a house in Hateno Village. So you have to do that first. So
which is a part of the base game, not the DLC.
Yes.
You can buy the house at any time.
So yeah, that's really neat. Link will go and hang that on the wall. I don't know about you, but in my Link's house in Hateno Village, I also have all the champions' weapons and shields and bows and stuff hanging on the walls. So that's just what I put up.
But the really interesting thing about this is that this isn't told to you.
Yeah.
The game doesn't tell you about this unless there's like a side character that mentions it somewhere. But the game doesn't tell you. The description or details Nintendo's released about the game doesn't tell you. So potentially, there's even more secrets hiding yet to be found in the DLC. Just as a lot of people passed over this. Like the Straw Hat said, he didn't discover it only by chance. So there's probably...
So who knows what else there is to find, if
some
there is
crazy
anything
stuff
else.
Lurking around. And that brings us to the very end of our Hylian Gamescast.
Great.
So Daniel.
Yes.
Let us know, for those interested in finding you and taking you out for ice cream. Where...
Ice cream. This got serious.
Where would they find you on Twitter? Or if they were interested in other videos from you, where could they go?
Well, you can follow me on Twitter at Capt Burgerson, as in the captain who ate a burger, but that burger had a child. And I also have a YouTube channel called NSHG Films. And I also work on Jesse's channel quite a bit, so I do read through his comments. So if there's something, or if you want to comment on this episode of the podcast, you can do that below, and I'll see it, don't worry. You should also join the GameOverJesse Discord server, which I am on, King Burgerson on that server, so pretty easy to find. I'm all over the interwebs.
Yes, and for myself, everyone watching, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, everything is GameOverJesse, so it should be very easy for anyone to find who's interested. Thank you for watching. Thank you for submitting your questions, and hopefully you'll enjoy the next episode as well. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye, everybody.
What's up, everybody? Jesse here. I wanted to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this podcast, T-Blocks. You may ask, what is T-Blocks? Well, T-Blocks is a unique t-shirt subscription service where you choose between an awesome licensed shirt or artist-designed shirt delivered to your door every month. Prices start at just below $9, with a 12-month prepaid price that goes down to below $7 a month. Licensed shirts include designs from Disney, Marvel, DC, HBO, Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, Naruto, Star Wars, and many more. My first shirt was an awesome, officially licensed Zelda shirt, which, as you all know, we focus on Zelda a lot on this channel. So if this is something you would be interested in, please subscribe to T-Blocks with the promo code JesseTBX for 10% off your entire order. Details and links to everything can be found in the description below. And with all of that out of the way, let's get started. The videos on this channel are funded by supporters on Patreon like you. If you're a fan of this channel and would like to join on videos, receive shoutouts, watch videos early, have your questions answered, or have your topic discussed on our podcast, please consider supporting on Patreon for these and many other rewards for just $1. Shoutouts for this video includes Link Use the Triforce, Rusty Caulfield, Lovable Christie, Give Time 15, Shadow to Us, Robbie Morgan, and Lunarium. I want to thank all of you for everything you have done to help support this channel.